Guys, I'm so irritated right now. I just got done watching a video on YouTube about empaths. I have considered myself an empath for a while. I took a stupid little quiz. I think it was on Facebook just for fun. And it basically, at the end of it, was like, oh, you're an empath. And I was like, what the heck is an empath? But the description fit me really well. So I'm like, hey, let's look into this. And so after that, I took more serious quizzes and did some more research on what an empath is, or some people call it a highly sensitive person, basically someone who's very highly empathetic. And everything I read was like on the money, me. So I'm like, hey, I'm an empath, like, woo, cool. So every once in a while, as is my way, I like to look up videos or research different things that help me better understand myself. Just like with the ADHD and depression and anxiety, any mental health or physical, any sort of anything, I feel like it's very, very important that we know ourselves, that we get to know ourselves, that we better understand ourselves so we can better navigate life. I think it's just an intelligent thing to do. And YouTube is a really, really, really cool place to do that. Easy, can be really entertaining, and more personal. It's a more personal way to do that. I'm not here to drag any... Excuse me. No, I'm not here to drag any sort of channel. That's not what I'm here for at all. Granted, this particular video I saw was by a big company who probably doesn't give two craps about the opinions of anybody out there. And I've heard that they've been known to spread misinformation in the past. But anyway, not going to mention the channel, but the first video I clicked on about empaths. Guys, it's got me heated. I am shooketh, and not in a good way. I think I only got like 10 minutes into this video. And it was making empaths out to be like some psychic mystical creatures. Girl, first of all, no. Oh no. It was talking about people that make money off. Okay. I quickly realized that there's a lot of misconceptions about what empaths are, and there's a lot of people who I think are frauds or who take this idea of what an empath really is and they run with it and take it a little too far. And as every single video, I'm speaking from my experience. So for all I know, there very well could be mystical people out there who are empaths and it's an actual psychic gift. But so let's just stick to what I know, and I can explain to you what I experience as an empath, what I classify to make me an empath, and we can go from there. I mean, based on the comments that I read in this video, I was not the only one outraged. It had more dislikes than likes, and a lot of comments were from a lot of empaths like myself who were like, what are you even talking about? Like, this is really stupid. So for those of you who don't know, an empath is basically somebody who is just highly sensitive, highly in tune to the emotions of themselves and people around them. That's basically it. It's the root of the word empath comes from empathy, being empathetic. And again, that just basically means that you understand and can feel the feelings of other people. That's it. So what does that look like for me? I will give this video, and the people that claim that they're psychic or that being an empath is some sort of mystical ability, I will give them that. A lot of times it almost does feel supernatural, like you are some sort of, it's like a superpower. And I do consider being an empath a gift. It is something that not everybody can do and not everybody can experience, and it can have a lot of benefits, but it also has a lot of crappy things about it. But basically one of the first ways that I realized that I am an empath, and one of the big flags for if you're just empathetic or if you're an actual empath, is if you can feel the emotions of the people around you. My husband can walk in the door and he doesn't have to say a word and I can feel what he's feeling. There's situations where I'll walk into a room of people I don't know and I can just feel overwhelmingly that the attitude of these people are frustrated or that it's a great happiness. And sometimes these are, I think, things that subconsciously I pick up very quickly through body language and other cues. But being an empath, it's not just that. it's more instantaneous than that. It's, you can look someone in the face, or they walk into the room, and you can get a gauge for how they're feeling without them really having to say a word or do a whole lot. It's the best way to just describe it in the simplest is just that it's a feeling. You get bombarded by feelings. Sounds super cool, right? Like I said, almost like superhuman, which is what some people apparently take and run with, and actually charge people like $200 or more to tell others what they're feeling, which is insane to me and just stupid. Another thing that I think classifies me as an empath, or is characteristic of empaths, is we are very, very moved and very, very affected by the emotions of other people. And this has caused a lot of issues in my life with stupid stuff. Like, it's hard to enjoy movies, and I almost can't watch horror movies because it so deeply affects and disturbs me. And it's not even like the monsters or whatever, it's the people. It's like I am them in those moments, and I can get genuinely terrified. Things affect me on a very deep level. I will bawl my eyes out when things happen in movies and TV shows. And you might think a lot of people do that, like that's the point, like they want you to get like emotionally riled up. But again, I'm speaking from what I know. It deeply affects me. And like even watching YouTube videos where people break down and cry, if I feel that it's genuine, then it will affect me too. In most cases, I might not outright be crying. Sometimes I can rein it in, but it really affects me. Now, sometimes people who are empaths, because of everything that comes with being able to feel the emotions of people so strongly, it can be very overwhelming. We can get taken advantage of because people can sense when you are easy to take advantage of. And people who are empathetic and can feel the pain and frustrations and stuff of others, we tend to kind of fall into these roles of helpers or peacekeepers. And that's definitely something that I experienced. I was taken advantage of many, many, many times, because it's really easy to pick on empaths because we want to help, and kind of like slaves to emotions. We can be if we're not careful. Some people have been used and abused so many times that they might be empaths, but they can come across as cold and just like screw the world, because it's their default, because the world can be an overwhelming place when you're feeling the emotions of everybody around you, and people just want to kind of suck that energy of like, yeah, make me feel good, yeah, listen to my problems. It can be overwhelming. And then some people, like myself, I went through a phase where I was like, screw the world, and sometimes I still have moments where I'm like this is too much. And you combine the empath being overwhelmed with the emotions with being an introvert, and sometimes I just want to shut myself in my house for like months at a time. But then there's the other side of it where a lot of people who are empaths channel that, and they use it to do things like, again, I can only speak from experience, but I was drawn to psychology. I don't know that I'll necessarily be a counselor. I've had an interest in forensic psychology, but psychology is all about understanding the way people's minds work and emotions, and that's, empaths are just naturally drawn to and gifted in understanding those sorts of things. Empaths are not, or wait, let me correct that. I, as an empath, am not psychic. I cannot sit here and tell you how many people are in a room when I'm video chatting with you. Like, that's insane. Again, there are certain things that I can do and things that I've said and things that I can pick up on that seem almost supernatural, but I'm not going to run around like trying to make money off of telling people their futures. Like, how about if you're an empath, you use that gift to help people better understand themselves, not make them pay to come see you so you can then tell them how they're feeling and make them feel like they have to come to you every time like you're some magical genie. Like, no, we have a natural gift to understanding how people are feeling, but I think that that's a skill that could be taught to people. I mean, I don't think that makes you an empath then. I think empaths, it's just like natural, but like, let's teach people how to be more in tune with their emotions and understand their emotions, rather than charging people to come to us like we're some sort of guru and some sort of otherworldly, like God's gift to earth. Like, I can't. Are there any other empaths out there that feel me? Because I'm about sick of society, and like, I don't know if it's a millennial thing. I'm a millennial, and millennials piss me off sometimes. And I always try to take the side of, hey, don't blame millennials. Like, stop making these jokes about millennials, just all of us being these negative things. But like, when you see videos like the one that I watched 10 out of 30 minutes of, it's like a little hard not to be like just like annoyed with your own age range group. Like, the world right now, there's so many things, and it's just like, why does everything have to be like weird? Why do you have to make everything weird? I'm an empath, and I am not psychic. Oh,